Hi guys, I'm American Choir Boy. Welcome to my Perler tutorial video. What's a Perler? This little guy right here. It's a bead craft that you iron together to make a holdable image like this, like a little sprite you can hold in your hand. I call this the pumpkinion because it is a pumpkin minion. And all you do is lay beads onto a pegboard and you iron them and you let it cool and you're left with this. And I'm going to show you how to make them today. If you click on the link in the description, you'll find my stream on Twitch where I make these as well. And also do a bunch of other stuff like play video games and have fun with people. So let's get started. First, you're going to need a pegboard. This right here is called the large size pegboard, and they interconnect with each other. These prongs here will interconnect and let you scale the board as big as you want it to be. And all you do is lay the beads on it, and I'm going to start by showing you that. I'm going to use this guy as a template. I'm going to lay the beads on here, and then I'll show you how to iron it and all the rest of the equipment you need to make this. So the two main tools you'll use here is going to be a pair of tweezers. I highly suggest a pointed pair. Don't use a slanted tip pair. Use a pointed tip. Also, you'll need this. If you really want to make bigger perlers faster, I highly recommend getting a Perler pen. You can get them on eksuccessbrands.com. They're $5. And they're very handy at loading the beads into here and just firing them onto the board. So I will show you how to use both these tools to put the beads on here. And let's get started. So I'll need the beads, and they're going to be dark blue, black, orange, butterscotch, gray, white, and tan. Those are the colors that make up this pumpkinion. So let me go fetch those. And dark blue. There we go. I need a better organization system. Anyway. And white and gray. Okay, here we go. Now I'm ready. So, first I'll start by laying the blue. Usually this little container is full enough that I can just scoop in and get the beads, but no biggie. Now the best way to lay beads is to start with a large color that's in there, like one of the most prominent colors is blue. There's a nice big patch of it. Start with that and lay them directly on the pegs. And I recommend you go left to right, unless you're left-handed. And I'd assume it would be the other way, but I'm right-handed. So we'll go right to left, and we can go bottom to top when you're laying the beads. Now the Perler pen does take a little time to get used to, and you got to shake the beads in, but trust me, this is much faster than laying them with a pair of tweezers. I think it's 8 in total. And some beads do work better than others for some reason. And that's wrong. Okay. So now we'll move on to another color. And if you're just laying a few beads really quickly, then by the time you get the perler pen loaded up, you can just fire off a few like this. Especially if you can grab them two at a time like that. No big deal. So you do end up using both of these tools in conjunction with each other. Yeah, I should have filled these up before I started. It would have been a little easier. So, then we continue following the pattern right here. Yeah, that is sometimes the problem. It just, you can't seem to load the thing. That is the darndest thing. I don't think there's a bead jammed in there. That's the last thing I need to happen. I apologize. There we go. Any luck, that won't happen again. Okay, I think I got that wrong. Yeah. Let me go ahead and fire in the butterscotch now. Once again, I only got a good handful to lay. And when you're in tighter spaces, then the perler pen doesn't work quite as well. So, right now is a good time to use the tweezers. And sometimes you drop them right on the other beads. That happens. No biggie. Okay. Get the black. Okay. There we go. If you rush too fast, you might make a mistake like that, so you'll want to take your time with this. I'm just trying to give you the example. And gray. Okay, back to the orange. Right. I'm going to put the rest of the black for his feet. Don't want to leave him without feet. Okay. All right. Then we can finish the top of the head. And we just need a stem. This guy will be ready. Okay. Let me just put these aside real quick so they're out of our way. Now, after you've laid the beads, obviously it's time to iron it. And there are two main things you can do depending on your situation. I find that with bigger projects, the board tends to warp if you apply too much heat to it. In this case, it's a very small project. It's not going to take very long to iron, and so I'll go ahead and iron it on the board. Alternatively, if it's a big project and you're using these large pegboards scaled together, in my experience, the heat has warped them, and they're very hard to use together because, especially on the cross sections where each board connects, they'll be warped and they'll be very difficult to use. The beads will be tilting, so they become very hard to use. So I highly recommend, if you're going to do a bigger perler, there's the taping method, which you take tape and put it over the entire perler and take it off the board, and then you iron it afterwards. And in my experience, you have to poke holes in the tape. And I have videos showing that. I should be able to put them in the description to show you that further. And that allows you to take it off the board and not put heat on the board. That way, you can preserve your board for future use. But like I said, we'll go ahead and just iron this as it is. So another thing you'll need, this is, you can use the paper that comes with the perler equipment, but this is just Reynolds nonstick parchment paper. You can get it at most stores. And all you do is put it over top of the perler. Then you get your iron. And this is a, be careful. This is a standard household iron. It's a Hamilton Beach. And I'm going to turn it all the way up to high heat. The reason I do that is when you melt the perler beads, the best way to do it is very quickly. So you want a lot of heat and you want a decent amount of pressure. Because what we're going to do, if you look at this perler from the side profile, I've only melted the top part of the beads. The bottom part, this is the side I didn't iron. I've only melted it a little bit and flattened just the top of it. I really didn't even heat up these beads down here. And now that's what you're looking for. So you get the iron really hot, and then you put the iron right over the beads. And I highly recommend doing circles. And I'm going to start with just a little bit of pressure because the beads are just kind of sitting on the pegs. So you want to be kind of careful not to move them around. So just put the iron on it, do some circles, and after a few seconds, after 10 or 15 seconds, we can start adding more pressure because by then the beads will start sealing together. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. And if you like, you can even tape the paper in place to help you out there, because sometimes it can slide around a bit. So I can go ahead and do that just to show you. Just tape this top part out like that. That way it'll kind of stay in place a bit better. So once again, put it right over top. A little bit of pressure. Do circles. Then you can go ahead and move the iron around a bit. Try to keep the heat even. Just keep doing the circles. Now I'm going to add a little bit more pressure. Now that the beads have started to seal together. Twist my iron around. I'm going to use the bottom part. I'm going to bring it back to the top part. Keep doing circles. Add a little more pressure. You can slow the circles down. Spin the iron. And kind of watch it when your iron comes off it to make sure it's all getting sealed up properly. And slow down a bit. And that should be good. Now, I recommend go ahead and put your weight on it. You can use like a large book, but I have this block of wood. And we can put some weight on it. I just got some simple weights. Here's a 5-pound. There's a 5-pound. I've also been known to use a 25-pound weight. But the point is to keep that flat. Alternative, you could wait about 30 seconds and pop that off the board, and then you can put weight on it. And if you do, I recommend putting it iron side down like that, because they tend to flatten that way. When you put them down, they'll lay flat while they're still hot, and then you put your weight on them. And from here, you let it cool completely. You know, you're going to keep something like, this is a cool little thing, man. You want to keep this for a while, so it's worth the extra effort. It's worth the time. And I might sell this for $5. You can sit there, hammer these out if you got people to buy these. And the cost in materials is very low. It's like right around $1, to make this, and you can sell this for, a bit more than that. So you can make a quick buck doing this stuff. So that's mostly it. If you want to follow me on twitch.tv/American Choirboy, I'll link it in the description, and you can check me out. I'll play music over the stream. We can talk and chat. Sometimes I'll play some video games, and we'll just have a good time together. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you soon.